I pride myself on being organized and clean, and this room where I film a lot of my videos is starting to be a problem because it has all of my instruments in it, it has all of my video stuff in it, it's where I do projects, it's where I also store a bunch of stuff, and it's starting to get more and more claustrophobic. So I have an idea of something I want to do to fix that, make it look better, and make it more functional, and hopefully it's not gonna take too long to get it all done. The area where I normally film stuff doesn't look too bad, but on the other side, like I talked about in another video, I have my lights pointing at these white closet doors to reflect and then to bounce the light back so it's nice and soft. But this closet is like my secret shame. I've tried to keep it organized, but there's just stuff, 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 and stuff. So hopefully by the end of today, that stuff will still be there, but be a little more organized. The big thing is I've been using this cabinet to store a lot of my camera gear and photo gear, but it's getting kind of hard to do that practically, and as a result it's just sort of getting piled with stuff. So what I'd like to do is clean out that closet, put in some really nice clean shelves, have everything laid out and ready to go at any given time, and then I can use this to store other stuff where this would be a better amount of space. Doing that by itself, putting photo gear in there, reorganizing all of my camera equipment, and then using this for something else will totally eliminate so much clutter from this room. And even though I call it clutter, it is all stuff that I use regularly every single week and need, so I kind of need to figure out a way to make it work. All right, one day later, I think I've got the closet situation figured out. I'm really proud of it, really happy with how it came out, and I'm also happy that it came out way cheaper than I expected. So, here's the reveal. Da, da, da. I was planning to build custom shelves, which would have been fun, but kind of a long process. And so I just found one of these pre-built sort of rack systems at Home Depot, which I think each of these shelves was like $6. I really like the look of white because the black contrasts with it. I organized it where the top shelf is all cameras. Normally this camera, which is the 6D Mark II, would go there, but I'm filming with it right now. Then the Sony RX100 Mark V, GoPro, Mavic Pro, and then just a couple other little things here. Camera grip, iPhone mounts, lens caps, Swiss Army knife, bought in Switzerland, and lens blower. The next shelf is more for lenses. There's a 100mm macro, 24-105. This would be the 16-35 that I'm using right now. The 35mm, and then over here I've got different filters. These are the Polar Pro ones that I reviewed, the Think Tank case for some filters, and then down here are just some nifty little video lights. The next row is a lot of batteries, hard drives, and microphones, and below that there's monitors and chargers and more batteries and my super sweet Casio keyboard, and then on the very bottom all the different bags and things that I use. Then on the wall, these little Think Tank bags. This has all my drone charging stuff in it. This has some more filters. This has all my GoPro stuff. It's really handy, easy to just take one and go. The other side of the closet didn't really change. I like things on the wall. These little red ties are awesome. Time-lapse remote, some headphones and different microphones and live streaming things and mounts and stuff. This side has basically been like this for quite a while. So both of these together make a really nice, efficient, gear storage spot. But I want to update and organize the rest of this room as well. And one thing is these lights, which I've talked about in a couple videos. I use them as like background accent lights, and they're great because they're super cheap and super bright. You've probably seen them. They come with these little remotes that let you change the colors, which is super cool because you can turn them on. They're very, very bright, but they're good for accents. And then you can, you know, put them to be whatever color you want to be. You can change the brightness, you can change all that stuff. The problem with them, I'm super sensitive to light and they're just really bright, so they constantly get in my eyes, but they also flicker a lot. Not so much right now when I'm filming at 24 frames a second, but if you're filming at anything 60, 120, 240, anything that's not 24 frames a second, these flicker like crazy, which is very annoying when I try to film B-roll in here because they're in the background and the colors look great, but it just flickers like a weird ravey strobe light thing. So I'm trying to replace these with something that's a little more practical. I got some Philips Hue Lights. They're super expensive, which I don't like, but they do last forever. They don't use very much energy, and they can do all the different colors. You can set up scenes, and they do still kind of flicker on video, but they don't flicker nearly as much, so they're a little bit better for video. They're not dedicated video lights, so there's still that flicker issue. So I got a couple of these floodlights and then just one of the regular ones. And so I'm gonna replace my 2 lights on the floor with these. And the lamp that's here on this cabinet, which I never use when I'm filming, I only use it when I'm actually in the room, I'm gonna put one of these bulbs in it so that I can actually adjust the color and brightness and have it on as an accent light whenever I'm filming in here. So there, now when I'm filming, this light can actually be on, and instead of just being bright like that, I could change the color to whatever color I want it to be, which will just be a nice little touch to the background. So for these floodlights, I just grabbed these very, very cheap desk lamps from Walmart, and instead of using the regular bulb that they come with, the floodlight fits pretty perfectly inside, and then they can just be placed around and pointed and directed wherever they want, so they can have one in this corner, one in that corner, just providing some nice background accents. These aren't as bright as the other lights were, which is a little bit of a bummer, but they're definitely a lot easier to work with and more energy efficient, so hopefully they'll work out great. So now after putting in those lights and kind of moving some things around, it's caused me to reevaluate my entire lighting setup, so I'm trying to do some like tests to see. I like the way I had it, but what I'd really kind of like to figure out is a way to make me lit up just fine, but the background to be kind of dark, so that way the different colored lights show up a little bit more, and it's maybe a little bit more interesting. No idea if I can actually do that or not. I've got this little monitor set up to kind of show what's happening. See, so now the problem is I'm brightly lit, the background looks okay, but the shadows are much harsher. So I don't think my lighting experiment is working. All that was basically to just end up putting the lights back where I had them, but at least now I know. So now I'm gonna put them back the way they used to be. Still playing around with if I want wide or close up. Right now I've got my 16 to 35. Normally I just shoot with a 35mm lens, but the way I have the lights is I've got the main light here reflecting off of the white closet and the ceiling onto me, and then I've got this other little LED light reflecting off the blinds onto me, so that's all soft light. And there's also a small little light here, which is like a kicker that basically just adds this kind of glow. Sometimes it's up higher because sometimes my hair doesn't stand out from the background. So if I can put a light somewhere to kind of give sort of a look that makes my hair stand out, that's usually a positive thing. So I think I've got it pretty much figured out. I've been using this wide angle more lately, but normally I use the 35mm prime lens, which looks like this, which, as you can see, is a lot closer to me. What I really like about this is it blurs out the background a bit more. It's really good for talking. It's not as great for showing things, which is why I have a table in the first place, is so that if I have something, I can talk about it. And with this is like a 6-foot long table, but with this shot, I only have like this little tiny portion to use. So really, it's probably switching back and forth. I just want to try to keep things visually consistent, so when you see a video of mine, you know it's one of my videos and it looks familiar. And it's also just super fun to like play pretend TV studio and like set up a set and stuff. And if I add that kicker light in the back, you can't see it over here, but it's giving a nice glow to my side over here, which is pulling me out from the background. So I kind of like this the most. It's probably what I'll use. to actually film videos. I have this Fovatech light, which was 85 bucks on Amazon. It's a great light, it's super bright. It's just reflecting off the wall, down into the area there. I've got this boom where normally the Rode video mic that I'm using right here would be on there if I'm filming here. This table is actually just a workbench from Home Depot that you can adjust the height of. I have a couple of these. I really like the look of butcher block on camera, and it's just a sturdy metal and wood table, so I like that a lot. Down here is just a little cart. I use that a lot for live streams when I need to move stuff around and just sort of have things at the ready, especially when Heather and I are filming stuff different places. My camera setup for when I'm filming here is just a tripod slider and then tripod head. Right now there's a Sony a7 III on there that I'm borrowing for a review. Usually it's the 6D Mark II. This really is an awesome camera, but I'm still firmly a Canon fan. And over here I've got my drums, which I just put brand new fresh drum heads on, and there's not much like brand new fresh drum heads. I ended up keeping the original lights that I was using just to kind of add more accents. So I put one back here behind the drums, and then I kept another one in the corner by this guitar just to sort of shoot some light up here. Otherwise on this shelf where I have my record player and just some other like 3D printing supplies and some records and stuff, I put one of the Philips Hue lights to light up the cabinet. The cabinet is now basically just all 3D printers. There's the Prusa, the Delta Mini, and then inside there's a bunch of filament and my two Monoprice Mini version 1 printers. Over here I've got some guitars. Behind the drums there's a bass. On the wall over here I've got a board that has some ideas for live streams and videos. And that's pretty much it. So I hope this was kind of an interesting look at how I make my videos and how I reorganize things a little bit and how I try to balance visual appeal with functionality and organization in a room that has a whole bunch of stuff in it all over the place. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you have a channel or a photo or anything where you film and do your work, I'd love to see those spaces. So send me a link, add it to the comments, whatever you want. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to do so right now, and I will see you guys next time from over there. Oh, I'm holding a light. I forgot I was holding the light and it ruined the lighting. I'm sorry. I'll see you guys next time.